So this is the parking for the bridge at Long Key Point. Welcome to the Unknown Angler. Today we're going to be fishing Long Key Point. This is the parking area, and this is the beach, and this is where you saw me put in right here. So this is the channel that we're going to be fishing on. We're going to come down along this edge. From here to the pier, and then all the way down into this area to the park. All the way down in here. The park boundaries are right around in here. This is the parking lot for the park in here. Bassel Bridge at Long Key Point. There's a nice little parking lot here. Unfortunately, as I've said in the past, to put in here for a kayak or paddleboard is a little bit not treacherous, but it's tough. It's just a pain. You gotta come down there's two paths just like this. It'll bring you right down, and what it does is it brings you down to the bridge concrete that surrounds the inside of the bridge. Now the reason I'm here today, I normally wouldn't do this. I'd either put in at the park or I'd put in on the other side. You can see there's a small current running up alongside the bridge, but this is the flat that I want to fish, and you can paddle to it easily on either side. You can see the beautiful rainbow. You can see the bridge right here. I'll walk down and we'll take a look. Unfortunately, there's a lot of fishermen in here, so there's a lot of garbage. I'm ashamed of my my fishing brethren for doing that crap. But so that's the Fiscal Bridge right there. This is Long Key Point I'm on, and as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful flat. Two things are going on. Number one, supposed to be no rain today. Yeah, okay. And the wind was supposed to be at 6 knots. The wind is not at 6 knots. Also, we have a high tide right now. So the tide, well, it's not quite high tide. We're half an hour away from high tide. So you can see it's a pretty significant current coming around the corner going underneath the bridge. And if you can see over to the other side, that is not why I'm putting it on the other side. There's white caps actually forming over there. That's not good. And there's the rain. Oh, no rain, huh? It's all private property down for the next mile, and then you hit the park, and then you can go around the park all the way into Long Key Bight. Once again, this is not a way to subvert paying to get into the park. I pay for a year's license, support your state parks, buy the permit to go in. Not a horrible put in for a paddleboard, but it is absolutely atrocious if you're going into a kayak. Now, and all your worries melt away. Look at this. Oh, I think we're going to get right into it this morning. There's going to be no sight fishing for a little while. The wind is coming out of the northeast, which means it's at my back this morning. It's blowing out into the Atlantic, sort of. It's kind of a crosswind. This right here, though, this is just some incredible water. Definitely want to look around in here and see if I can see anything. But these are all really good bonefish flats. By the way, this is for those of you that don't know, this is the historic Long Key, where the Long Key Fishing Club used to be back in Hemingway's day, and basically this is where a lot of the fishing down here started. Definitely bone fishing. What was that? I'm gonna paddle out to the turtle grass out here, right where that sandy part starts. Okay, this is high tide coming in here, right? And if you think about this, this is high tide. This is about 2 feet of water to my left. It's about 6 feet of water, channel water to my right. If this is high tide, this is out of the water right here at low tide. So it's not a sand flat, it'd be a sand spit. That's the actual park section that comes in here. This is all beautiful turtle grass right at the point. And these aren't sand flats. These are actually, these will be the highways that the fish would take. These are channels that are dug out by the current that comes whipping around here between high and low tide. Once again, know your tides, know your wind, because you come up here and all of a sudden the tide starts kicking up, which it will do in the next 2 hours. You're going to get thrown around out here. When you get close to these bridges, the tide under these bridges is the current. I shouldn't say the tide. The tide's the same all the way around, but the current that's generated by the tide on these bridges is enormous. Ooh. There's 2 giant rays right here. Can you see those? Oh, they are beauties. 2 big boys. There they go. Coming right back in. Yeah. Not sure whether those are stingrays or eagle rays, but that's a good sign. This is exactly what I'm looking for here. Hopefully this shows up in the video. You see that nice sandy area right there surrounded by turtle grass? If I can actually get an anchor in on this side so that I'm over that area, that would be great. By the way, the secret to the wind down here is it always blows, so always have a contingency plan for when you think you're going to have a nice calm day like I'm supposed to have today, and the place where you're planning on going, which was the Gulf side, is completely blown out. I turned the camera back on to show you the dichotomy out here. First of all, I'm not sure whether the video is going to show it up, but if you look out there, you can see the sand flats, you can see this grass flat as far as the eye can see. We got 2 feet of water as far as you can see all the way out here. Same way on this side. Got this deep 6-foot channel in back of me that cuts around the bridge. I've got this hellacious storm right here that's going out to sea. Luckily, it's already been over us. That's some bad rain over there. Got these beautiful blue skies coming in from the northwest, and I just have this sun just popping up, and obviously that's blinding everybody. And there's a bridge, half of it in sunlight, the other half in shadow of the clouds. It's beautiful, just absolutely gorgeous. Let's go take a look at this dock. Pinfish come out. I'm not seeing much bait. You can see all the pinfish in here. I don't know whether you can see them, but a lot of little pinfish in here. Ooh, and a big old ray. You saw him come out of there, I'm sure. A tarpon. There it is right there. Let's go over to it and take a look. I said it earlier, if I was fishing for sharks or rays, I would be in hog heaven. And oh, that's beautiful. That's a leopard ray. That's not a stingray. I don't know whether you can see the spots on him or not. Oh, it's a beauty. Beautiful little leopard ray. Going to take off in a second like a rocket. There you go. You got a better look at him right there, I think. Beautiful. You never know what you're going to see out here. Well, I'm all the way up to, well, actually, that buoy right there represents, it's almost in line with that dock, represents the end of the park, Long Key Park. All these buoys here are basically no wake zones. Stay outside the buoys. It's park water. You can't bring a boat in here and land it on the beach. You can definitely park it off the beach here in regular water and swim in, but you're not allowed to hop up on that beach unless you've actually paid to be in the park. Well, it looks as though that storm and those clouds have moved on. It's been about 2 hours now. And I'm about at the end of where I wanted to be. This is right around the park section. I tell you what, if the sun comes out though, I might paddle up onto this sand flat here and paddle around in there a little bit just to see if anything's on the flat. Give me good visibility now. I turned the camera on for a few seconds while I was casting. I always try to turn it on when I come to a spot that I start casting at. And of course, first thing that happens is I get a couple nibbles and I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna get lucky. And a boxfish follows me in. And this is why we like the sun. It finally came out, those clouds moved off, and this turns into an aquarium when that happens. Beautiful in here. Some kind of bait. Don't know whether that was mullet or oh, look at this guy. He's gonna cruise out onto, and this is how you see a fish. Look at that. That's a cuda. And if you saw that, that was the pinfish that were in here too. That wasn't mullet. Oh, no, it's a school of mullet right there. So cool. That was a perfect example of what I'm looking for, just not the right species. And there was no chance of casting at him. If you saw what he did, he saw me before I saw him. He was coming across. He just wanted out of here. Okay, I'm back at the bridge, and as you can see, this is why I didn't go out on the other side. Even though I'm on still the leeward side of the bridge, it's pretty choppy over here. You can now tell from the way the paddleboard's bouncing around a little bit that I've got a significant amount of chop. I'm going to paddle up towards one of these pylons. I'm going to stake myself out in here if I can. I'm not sure how effective I am going to be at doing that. Also, hopefully I'm able to stay on the board. I'm just dragging this anchor. It's going to hit at some point. Hopefully I'm able to stay on the board. At lower tide than I put in this morning here at Long Key Point, there is a small beach you can take out at and walk around these bushes and get back out into the parking lot.